everybody. I'm Lynn Reeder.
And I'm George Reeder. We're the owners of Rovner Products, and we're coming to you from the conference room in Timonium, Maryland.
Although we would much rather be doing this in person, we believe this is a much better plan. So thank you, Nam, for making the Believe in Music Week happen. We're going to try to simulate our standard booth, but without all the noise. So that said, we're not currently monitoring chat, and if you have any questions, please save them for outside this time frame.
Thanks.
All right. This is our first ever live stream, and it will soon become evident that we are not professionals. However, we believe we've put together the elements that should make this an entertaining time, an enjoyable time for you. You have two nicely dressed hosts. It's a lovely backdrop. We have modern technology to help me remember the things I'm sure I'm going to forget to say. We have a long black tablecloth because we're husband and wife, and sometimes we feel compelled to kick each other when we're going on too long. And we have some really great products to share with you. And finally, every good show has a special guest. So we even have a special guest we'll be bringing on at the end. So please stick with us so we can introduce him to you. So before we really begin and get started with what we're going to present, I'd like to send some great big air hugs to all the pro players out there who are struggling to maintain their livelihood, to all the teachers out there who are struggling to find ways to engage with their students, to all the students out there who never in a million years thought that they would be this anxious to get back to school,
Yep.
And to all the dealers out there who are also working so hard to still be there for you when the worst of this pandemic is behind us. We just want to say, hang in there, everybody. There is a light at the end of this tunnel. And now, let's get on with the show.
First item on our show and tell is the first in our exciting new Deep V collection of mouthpieces. We call it the Avatar because you supply the character and we supply the core. The best place to learn more about it is on our website. The question isn't who else plays it, but who am I when I play it? It's a personal somatic experience. It allows you to blow with authority and sensitivity because you're not struggling to be heard. It eliminates overblowing and the resulting degradation of sound and intonation. The unique patented chamber baffle changed the paradigm from cut and edge to presence. It's like having your own sound man dialing you in so you can be heard by your fellow players and your audience in the most authentic way. It dovetails with modern developments in playing because while it's great with cane, it helps bring out the best in synthetic reeds too. It's currently available for alto and tenor. Barry will be here in February, and the bass clarinet will be here in spring. So,
do you want to show it, George?
Great idea. Thank you so much, honey. So here we are. I'll try to bring that a little closer. It's the Avatar. As a unique design, you only get to see it briefly. There it is. All right. So it's been many years in the making. It's all based on the foundational work of Phil Rovner. But we've got 20, 30 years worth of his wonderful insights into sound production. We put it all together in a package that's great for the modern world today. And we're excited about that.
Also, the best place to read more about it is going to be on our website for right now. And this is one of just 3 products that we make available direct to dealers. So if you're a dealer watching this and you would like more information, please get in touch with us. So next in our lineup is our Proteus clarinet barrel. It's a patented barrel with a very unique design feature that calls for an awkward Vanna moment on my part.
So Vanna, while you're getting ready, here it is, the Proteus. And since it's so tiny, we thought we would let you know that the chamber inside is rectangular. And it's that way to provide, again, a personal experience. So you don't adapt to the barrel, it adapts to you. And that's done by rotating it. It's been designed to have these neoprene rings to allow you to grip it and change the angle of the rectangle inside. So it will provide different playing characteristics and tonal characteristics. One of the biggest features is that it has sizes from a 62 millimeter to 68. It allows many people to play it and find the length that's in tune. And speaking of tune, another big benefit is intonation. So it helps line that clarinet up from bottom to top.
Right, and it's also made of a polymer, so it's stable in any weather conditions. So if you have a dry environment, it's
Yes.
going to be fine. If you happen to live in a very humid environment, it's going to be fine.
So if you happen to be in a marching band or you're in the military, it's a perfect choice. If you're in a concert band and you're in high altitude, low humidity, perfect. And then it's also designed for doublers that are sax players that typically have sax chops. When they go to the clarinet, it's like putting training wheels on. It's a really wonderful new addition.
Right. So we'll move along. So
Okay.
the next product we'd like to share with you is the Rovner Space Shield.
Mm.
This is a product that has a very timely purpose. It's a vinyl face shield that's designed to help reduce the risk of exposure to pathogens. And how it came about is kind of interesting. Our company was closed last year in spring because we're non-essential, at least to our governor. We're kind of essential to us. And so we stood in our facility and we thought, now, what are we going to do? What can we do to contribute? How can we help? So we decided that we would come up with a design, manufacture the parts, enlist volunteers to help with assembly, and then we wound up making about 3,000 shields that we donated to our local community, and they were received with great gratitude. So it was really a very wonderful feel-good project for us. However, then George put on his thinking cap and came up with a way that this could benefit the woodwind and brasswind community. So I would like you to demonstrate.
I would love to.
I think you should do that.
All right.
All right.
So first one is our woodwind. It has an aperture that you really can't see because it just blends in, but it goes this way to allow the mouthpiece to go in easily. This is adjustable to any size head, cinches down as tight as you wish. All right, let's take a big instrument. First, I'll show you from the front. And now you said, how did you do that? I didn't think about it, but I'm going to come a little closer and you'll see that it slides right in. It allows you to play. So the beauty is that with the way we've developed the aperture for the woodwind, if you're standing or sitting, it determines which way the saxophone comes into the mouth. All right, now let's take another instrument. This can be a clarinet or a soprano sax. It can be played in two ways, and the only one that can be. So if you happen to play in a very upright position, you can come in underneath and you can play. But if you play like Kenny G, then it gives you the freedom and flexibility to play in whichever style you're accustomed to without thinking about it. And it will do that for all of the other sizes. Now, we have one that's made for brasswinds, and they are unique, as we found out when we first tried the woodwind version with a brass player. And when he put the trumpet in his mouth, worked great. And when he took it out, it pulled his mouthpiece out of his trumpet and dropped it on the floor. That was expensive. All right, brasswind version. Easily comes off. You'll notice that this one has a very, very unique design. I'm not sure if you're able to see that. Are you? Excellent. Okay. So we go back to the soprano to act as a trumpet, but I know you're snickering. So here's our trumpet. And I'm going to let you see.
Get the hook.
Again, we'll just let you see that a trumpet comes in this way and allows it to easily come in and out. So it's up higher than the woodwind version, which comes from below. Again, we're trying to think of all the things to allow you to just play, enjoy the music, and have a level of added safety. There is one more thing, and in the woodwind version, we've been able to adapt it for flute players. This is done at home, where we give you a template to cut out the side of it. So as we look at it, we've cut this out to allow for a flute. Again, our multi-instrumentalist comes up here and plays the flute. Again, so you see that wonderful benefits. That has a template, you use it on the woodwind. Although it may work on the trumpet, most woodwind players would double on flute, very few brass winds would. What's next, honey?
So while George is wrapping that up and reapplying his fabulous beret, I'd also like to say that these are very durable vinyl. They're cleanable, they're reusable, they're very clear. The foam pads that are on them are adjustable so that you can make the shield curve more around your head or less around your head, however you like. So it's really quite comfortable to wear. So next, fourth item of our 5 is our Mouthpiece Manager. And we're showing you this just in case there are any of you out there who have not gotten off the couch for this entire pandemic, even though you intended to get yourselves organized. I know this happens. So George is going to show you how to use a Mouthpiece Manager to help you do that.
All right. First, we start with something that stacks onto itself. It's lightweight, durable, washable, and it nestles into itself such that very easily you can sit it and you can organize things. Now, when we're at a show, people will play something and we'll say, okay, this one, someone's played it. Okay, these have to be cleaned. They're segregated. Clean it. And then we put it over here. So it allows you to do that. You can use barrels, bells. There are a lot of things that you can use to organize. It's great for display when you're either at a retail store or especially on the road when you just have to be able to pack everything into small areas, and it does it so nicely when you align it correctly.
Well done.
Now, there is one other thing, and that is it can be used for those trumpet and trombone. So it allows you to organize very nicely. There is one more thing, and this is more playful, because if you do like to do things like, oh, let's see here. It's something like Legos. And you can construct things. So we'd love to see what you've constructed with your set of Rovner Mouthpiece Managers. Thank you, honey.
All right. So one more item. Finally, the last of the 5 is our clearly elegant saxophone display system. This allows you to maximize your display area while also displaying the horns so that they're at their most attractive. We've hired some beautiful Italian supermodels to help us with part of this demonstration. They're coming to us from Ramponi and Cazzani, handmade saxophones in Italy. So George can explain how they work.
Okay. So we did have a particular way I was going to do this, but I have forgotten. I'm going to do something. I'm going to tell you first that I have 4 saxophones over here, and they take up a fair amount of room. But if I told you that I could put all 4 of those on this tiny spot, you'd go, that's intriguing, because in my store, I have very little space. And I love to display the saxophone in a way that you see the beauty of it, not on the back of a a standard saxophone stand. But I'm going to show you first the single model. 3 models. One's a single with 1 post. The other is a triple with 1 post. And then there's a triple post triple. You see that this is the system right now. And it lies flat, and it allows to transport easily. When you put this together, you'll notice that I don't have any screwdrivers or hammers up my sleeve. We pull the pin. It's not a hand grenade. And we lock it in place. When we do, it also locks the alignment in place. And what you see is that this is infinitely adjustable. Well, that's pretty nice. So we'll do it again. And we'll do it 3 times because we'll show you another nice feature about these is the way that they play in the sand very nicely. Okay, so you have 3 of these and you go, well, yeah, okay, that's kind of nice. But let's say you don't have that much room. What do? You go like this and you go like that. Now look at all that space we just took away. And you get to do that. Again, any size saxophone, you get to vary it. The other thing you can do is you can be playful. You can have them with saxophones on them. You can be artistic in your display. It always doesn't have to be just utility. That's the beauty of these. Now, what about this? How do we do that? This is an extender, and this allows us to do either a baritone saxophone or a bass clarinet. As you can see, the bass clarinet is already installed over here. Elegant and takes up no space. The other thing, thank you, Anna. This is the triple. That way you have 3 and it spreads them very nicely so it looks good. It only takes up about 14 inches deep in space. So when you have limited space, you get to display beautifully. Here's the triple. Now I'm going to show you how they go on. But first, let's get into the retail vibe. All right. So this one, they lock in place. A spring-loaded pin that allows it to lock. As you see, it's not going anywhere. Well, wait a minute. Whoa, yeah. This one's going over here. There we go, the baritone. Tenor. It's a little test. And alto. Again, there they are. Now, to show you a little more closely, I'm coming over here. And you'll see that I slide this up and I take the spring loaded and pull it. It goes into the ring of the saxophone. And now it is safe and secure. Well, let's say you prefer to do it from the left side, or the nature of the saxophone is such that there's more room on that side. We have the ability to rotate. So it's ambidextrous. And we can take the same saxophone, slide it over here, and lock it in place. So,
beautiful.
How'd I do?
Thank you, baby. That was lovely.
All right, thank you.
All right. Come stand next to me so they can hear me now.
All right.
So those were the 5 unusual Rovner products that we wanted to share with you today. And we also wanted to let you know that in 3 short years, Rovner Products will be celebrating its 50th anniversary. Over the years, this company has introduced a variety of innovative ligatures and mouthpieces. to include 9 distinct ligature models, performance-enhancing ligature models that we haven't even touched on today. That said, if you haven't explored our line beyond the Rovner Dark, we really encourage you to do so. Check out our page here at the NAMM show or go on our website for some more inspiration, because there's so many options available to you that can help. So now we're going to continue. Your turn, right?
In 1974, the daddy of Mr. Phil Rovner. 7 years ago, he became the granddaddy, but he continues to support us and inspire us to continue on with his legacy. It's our privilege, after we mask up.
Privilege. Where in your pocket? Sorry, COVID. All right.
To welcome Mr. Phil Rovner. Phil, come on.
Okay, you stand right there, sir.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. So, Phil, now oh, right. Thank you. All right. So we invited you. I'm going to try to speak through the mask to be our special guest because you spent most of your career here at Rovner Products, mostly behind the scenes, a little bit like the Wizard of Oz.
Right.
And, many people have never had the opportunity to meet you. So we really wanted that to happen. And I think I'd like to ask you a basic music question, and that is, what inspired you to become a professional musician? And were there any early influences or type of music that you were attracted to?
Well, I drifted into it, actually. My father was a saxophone player before we got married, and his horn was laying around. And in my teens, I got it out and started fooling with it and decided to take lessons. I got into it, and then it just kept going. I participated in band rehearsals and so forth. When I got out of high school, I started playing in nightclubs for several years. And for a number of reasons, financially, actually, I decided to get into engineering. And I went to night school, got my engineering diploma, and started to do engineering on a daily basis as my main career, but playing on weekends for weddings and events, so forth. And at one point in time, I had been playing alto, clarinet, and flute for about 15 years, and I decided to start playing tenor, and I couldn't play it. I spent years playing it terribly. I mean, it was out of tune. The sound was terrible and so forth. And I said, something's not right. So I started to fiddle around and came up with the ligature. And immediately I was able to play it.
And the rest is history. And then it went on and on from there.
That's it.
So with that, given that, I'm also curious to know what has been the best part of dedicating your life to participating in music in all the various ways that you've done that.
Well, I'm proud that I have been able to help a lot of saxophone and clarinet players to play better. Yeah. The ligature. And I mean, the ligature does make a difference.
It does make a difference.
It enabled me to go from a lousy tenor player to someone a little bit better.
I think so too. So given that, what you just stated, that was a wonderful answer. And on behalf of every young student whose face lit up when they finally could hear and feel the music, and on behalf of every professional who ever walked onto a stage, Phil, and felt fully supported by knowing that the equipment that they had was going to do the job, we'd like to say thank you for your contributions to the woodwind community.
Thank you.
Really. And I would hug you if circumstances allowed. However, we're also aware that there's another big event happening later this week. So instead of a hug, we're going to, give me a second here. Oh. We're going to wish you a happy birthday. No candles, though, because it's COVID. There's your saxophone.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you for everything you've done for Woodwinds, and happy birthday. So,
I would like to add one thing, is that thanks to Phil Rovner, millions And millions of people have been affected in a positive way to help spread music, play music, experience music.
Right.
That's impressive.
That is impressive. That's quite a legacy, and we're happy to carry on. So, thank you, everybody. Thank you for spending time with us. We just want to say, keep wearing those masks and stay well. We really will all get through this together. And now we just want to encourage you to ingest the cake. No, enjoy the rest of the Believe in Music Week. And now it really is all about the cake.
And
About the
somehow
cake.
this has to end.
And we say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.